Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today, this fine Tuesday afternoon. The sun is shining. It's cool. I think fall has set in.
Yeah, not so cool down in Florida, where
No.
I've got a good friend who I was just speaking to. It sounds, well, let's just say I'm happy I'm up here.
Yeah. Yeah. They've got a few hurricane issues.
Yeah, I sure do.
Well, today we're going to talk about, I guess, mailbag of questions that have come in throughout a few different areas across the country. So there's a couple things we were going to go through. Do you want to start or shall
Sure,
I?
I'll start. Okay, the first
Okay.
question comes in from someone who lives in Midtown Toronto, who is a brand new client. He joined us about 2 weeks ago, and he asked, how do I compare to the demographics of the rest of your clients?
Well, I can say that we are currently sitting around 55 clients and growing. The average age of our clients is about 49 years old. And right now we have about 59.6% women compared to men. But that can change because we have a few more accounts opening up in the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
So things are progressing quite well.
Mhm.
Yeah. Anything you want to add to that or?
Nothing to add.
Okay, so we're going to move along.
Sure.
Next question. Okay, this one's from Alberta. And I'll just read it to you, Jeff. You ready?
Ready.
We are thinking of booking a few more Holland America cruises over the next few years, and we learned on board that if we hold 100 shares in their stock and can prove it, we get a $250 US credit per cabin each booking. What do you think?
Okay, that's a great question. I know exactly who that is.
Yeah.
Um, so first of all, with anytime a client comes to us with an idea, we will look at it. And these are called client-directed trades. So there's legislation that governs how we deal with these kinds of situations. And the legislation says that you can only follow through with a client-directed trade if it's suitable for that client. Okay. And that takes into their account all their personal and financial circumstances. In this case, $1,900 is a very small percentage of this person's portfolio. And it's a pretty decent perk if you can get a
Yeah.
$250 credit on future cruise bookings. And I
Yeah.
have a feeling he's going to be going on a few of them.
Oh, I think so too. Yeah.
So we will make client directed trades if it's suitable for the client. We don't do many of them. There's two I can think of. One is a client who likes going to the Fairfax Financial annual general meeting. The only condition is you have to be a shareholder. So she owns one
hmm
share just so she can go
hmm
to the AGM. The other client wanted to buy Take-Two Interactive software. And so those are the two client directed trades we've executed. And I follow both those companies as I'm required to do.
hmm
So I haven't looked at um, Carnival Cruise Lines recently, so I won't offer an opinion on the stock. But I think that the cruise lines are probably pretty attractive here because there's still a lot of, I mean, travel demand right now is still very strong. And so I used to own Royal Caribbean many years ago, so I'm familiar with the business model, but I have to dust off the file on the
Yeah.
cruise ships.
Mhm.
So I think it looks like a very compelling reason for this client to own it.
Yeah.
So I'll reserve my opinion on the stock itself, but I wanted to take this question just to say that we will execute client directed trades if it makes sense for the client.
Yeah. Yeah. And it looks like this one might be actually paying them a 10% dividend for owning some of the shares because of the credit that they're
Yeah.
receiving. So
Yeah, see, I mean that's
I
what
want to, I'm almost ready to buy purchase this for a cruise line.
Yeah. Well, that's one of those things. I mean, it doesn't show up in our portfolio statements, but it makes sense for the client. If it makes sense for the client, then will
Yeah.
certainly, you know, take advantage of specific opportunities to that individual.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right, next question is for Sunny from Western Canada. So this was from a Zoom call we had just this morning. This client wants to make regular deposits to her account, but doesn't know how to do it. So,
Okay. Well, there's several ways that we have to make deposits to NBIN, which is our custodian. You can do online bill payment. Most of our clients like the convenience of the online bill payment, where you just, I guess, make the payee National Bank Financial, and in the memo section, you can type in your account number.
right.
Very easy, convenient. Do it online anywhere. Mail a check. That's a second one. I don't know too many people that still have checks, but there probably are some out there, right? Or go to a bank branch. You can go right into the bank branch again with your account number and talk to a teller about making the payment. They can do it for you right on the spot.
Yeah.
Now, she also was asking about just, I guess, for non-registered or registered accounts, doing automatic payments coming directly out of her financial institution, going into her account held at National Bank Independent Network. And that's easily done. It just has to the information, the void check information, and the specifics of frequency, amount, that kind of thing. We need to know. We fill out a form. She signs off. We send her all the instructions to our custodian. They set it up, and it's good. We're good to go.
Yeah. And then
Very
she
easy.
never has to remember to make future deposits.
Right. It's automatic. Because there are people that enjoy doing their lump sum payments
Yeah.
for their own personal budgeting, but there are a lot of people that are like, you know what? I want it automatically done, and I don't want to have to think about it again.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
if you get paid on the 15th of the month, it may and you're in a sa and you're in savings mode, it makes perfect
Hmm.
sense to do an electronic fund deposit that goes automatically to your RSP, for
Yeah.
example, on the 16th.
Right. And we have lots of clients that do that.
Yeah, we do.
We have both. So, whatever's convenient for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so on to the next question. This is from Toronto area. I just have a question regarding my portfolio. Considering some stocks have been appreciated in value much more than when we bought them, would it not be wise to sell at their peak and use that money to buy another stock?
Yeah, that's a good question. Um, so no, the answer to that one is you want to let your winners grow and take losses early if possible. A
Hmm.
lot of people are very quick to take gains on stocks and let the losers grow. Charles Schwab, or it might have been Bank of America, did a survey quite a long time ago, and it showed that the best performing accounts were the ones where the account holder had passed away and no one was watching the securities inside the account. So that is just simply to say that you don't have to be very active when you're investing. Um, so no, we would be tempted to leave things alone for this client. We do look for over-concentration, however.
Hmm.
If a stock gets to become over 10% of a portfolio, we
Right.
will trim it because 10% is our line in the sand where we think it's where there's over-concentration risk. Heaven forbid one day you wake up and you've got a stock in there that's 15% and
Yeah.
it's a bad news item and it drops by
Yeah. Right.
20%. And it happens. You want it to, it's a bad day, but you don't want it to throw off your
Hmm.
savings plan. So we'll trim stocks that are over that 10% line, but as a rule, just because something has made money, that's not a good reason for us to sell it.
Hmm.
Many of the stocks actually in this person's portfolio have a stronger outlook now than when we purchased it. So that's the reason they're up in value.
Yeah. Okay, and I think there was one more question that came from the Toronto area again. Um, they were asking about your opinion on Southbow.
Oh, right. Okay. Clients who own TC Energy which used to be known as TransCanada, will see a new position called South Bow when we send out our statements later this or first week of November. TransCanada is mostly a natural gas pipeline. Um, they have spun off their oil pipeline, which is the infamous Keystone. Okay. Here's the problem. South Bow is now, it's such a small position in everyone's portfolio that it's like 0.5%. So it forces not just us, but all other money managers to make a decision on the stock. You either buy significantly more of it to make it meaningful, or
Hmm.
you sell it. What often happens in the very in the very short term when there's a spinoff is most portfolio managers will say, "What the hell is this?" And they'll just sell the whole thing. And so I've been hesitant to buy more of it, thinking that there might be some downside pressure because of people selling it. Not least of which is because the Keystone Pipeline that's been a political mess for the last 15 years. So it looks compelling right now because the dividend is over 8%. If the stock price hangs in there for the next month where it is now, we'll probably buy more. But
Hmm.
I haven't done anything yet because I'm thinking there could be weakness from people who just don't want to make it a real position in client accounts and therefore just go ahead and sell it.
Yeah.
So right now we're doing nothing. We're just going to wait,
Hmm.
and I'm hoping that it sells off and I can pick it up lower. If I can get it under $30 a share, I'd be happy.
Hmm. Okay. I
So
think
there.
that concludes our mailbag website for today. We
Okay.
will talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. You got it.
Okay. Bye.